Hi, Suzanne.
Hey, Ann.
Morning.
How are you? I'm good. How you doing?
Good, good, good.
Good. All right, I'm going to run to the bathroom before we get started.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. I had to hurry up and do my taxes because I hadn't done them yet. And because you need to show your Schedule C to get your money from the government.
Right.
But I really don't have any income, almost none at all. So we'll see. Maybe a couple $1,000s I get, probably not even enough to cover rent.
We had to pay all that money. Remember I was telling you?
Yeah, did you have to?
Yeah, our accountant did like nothing and we couldn't get anyone on the phone. So we just did it and then appealed it because we didn't want any interest to accrue, you know?
Right.
But like, they just weren't understanding what we were saying. That even though we got the check as like, if they considered it a distribution, we just deposited it after their 45 days.
Yeah.
They wanted like thousands of dollars. So instead of like a few hundred of like penalties, you know? So
No,
crazy.
Hi, Regina.
I'm going off video. I'm still in my pajamas.
Good for you.
I didn't mean to see myself. That's okay. I can do yoga in pajamas.
That's right. It's the most
I have
comfortable
a
thing
little
out
time if you want to change.
Yeah, I still have time. I'm still going to go off. See ya. Thank you.
Anyway, let's see. Oh, there's everyone. Hey, Michelle. Let's get people checked in. Hi, Jane.
Good morning.
Hi. And, oh, Dina joins. Good.
And good morning. I'm so sorry. I don't know night from day, day from night. What day is it?
I know. It's so hard.
Thank you.
No, of course. Anytime. You can always email me. I'm going to do Maria's class today. It hasn't been the easiest time because that's when I'm like telling my kids, why didn't you do all of your work today? Well, like that's when this shit seems to hit the fan at that point. But SHTF, I think is the abbreviation for that. So yeah, but I'm gonna make it today. I like Maria's class. I don't know if you saw on social media, but Jenna is officially not coming back to New Moon. which, I mean, we knew, right, Jack? I mean, Jackie's muted, but we knew, like everyone knew it would be really hard to, work all day teaching kids and then come home, eat dinner, say bye to your baby and run out and teach yoga at night. So, but yeah, so she just really wants a whole break, at least for a while. So we're not even going to be doing Harry Potter stuff, but that's okay. That might disappoint Michelle, but so we're still waiting for Erin to join. So while we're waiting, I'll give you some announcements. Let's see. Announcements, here we go. So the sale is still going on for those of you who do not have an unlimited package. So it's 10 classes for $99. Different yoga studios have taken different approaches with this online stuff. They have like discounted drop-in rates and stuff like that. But I figured if I just keep running this sale, that's enough for people to, get a pretty decent discount and still do yoga while we're doing it virtually. We hear different dates, maybe the 15th things will open back up. Yoga studios would be considered part of the phase 1 opening. I will definitely limit people once we open. Our studio can fit between 30 and 37 people if you really smash them in, but I'm not going to do that. Probably limited at about 15, so it's like a good 3 rows of 5, gives you several feet apart between y'all. What else? So if you know anyone that might want a gift card, you could always email me or something, and I have all the gift cards at home. I can always run a gift card, charge your account, and send it out to someone if you're looking for gifts for anybody. Mother's Day is coming up, and Amazon is not exactly on time with their Prime shipping. So if you need a gift for a yogi, just contact me. I will send it out, no charge. So Jackie is doing her intro to yoga class again on Friday. So if you know anyone that would kind of want to just try yoga, it's 45 minutes with a 15-minute Q&A afterwards this time, figuring that people might have a couple questions instead of her just cutting it off and being like, bye. They could ask questions. She's even willing to give out her email if people want to, want a little more privacy and they want to ask her a question, without everyone listening. So it's 45 minutes. They could keep their video off if they want, all that stuff. So we had a pretty good turnout. We wanted to offer it again, so it is free. And then this was Jackie's idea, which I thought was really good. I'm going to do a 15-day detox, which will hopefully lead us up to opening. I'm not going to, listen, I know you're stuck at home and the corn chips are right there. And I'm saying that out of my personal experience. My favorite are the Garden of Eaton Red Hot Blues corn chips. Oh my God, I can't stop. So it's just a little kind of boost. So we have a decent amount of people wanting to come. Just a boost to get you like, okay, summer's coming. I'm sick of being stuck in the house. I want to get moving. I want to clean up my diet. It's just a little help. So on the Facebook group for support, I'll send you a bunch of recipes. I'll send you a whole booklet on what foods to avoid, what foods you can order. A lot of them you can get from Amazon, recipes, all that stuff. And so that should be good. And again, that's free, no charge. It's enough to spend money on food right now. And anyway, so the orientation is Thursday at noon. So if you sign up for the detox on Mind Body, which you'll see it on Friday's Mind Body. So, but still, I'll email everyone that signed up on Friday a link to get on the Zoom for the orientation on Thursday. Just real quick, not even a half hour probably, unless people have a lot of questions. I mean, you don't have to do it. I'll record it and I'll send it to whoever can't make it. So, and then Brittany's going to do another workshop. I mean, it went relatively well for a virtual workshop. She did it at the studio. But this time it's called Way of the Waves. It's really a movement workshop. You know how Brittany is. She comes up with these amazing ideas, and she has a background of dance, a background of yoga, a background of all different disciplines of yoga, weightlifting, all that stuff. So she kind of blends stuff together and makes it, you know, just a nice set of movements that should be just kind of make you feel good. Friday the 8th, so that's after this Friday. And that's about it. So I'm going to mute y'all. You can always unmute yourselves. You guys all know that. And we will get started in Supta Baddha Konasana today. So go ahead and lie on your backs. Soles of the feet touch. Knees fall open. Okay. Get comfortable if you need to put blocks or anything underneath your knees. We're just lying on our backs. Supta Baddha Konasana, Erin. If it feels good to place a hand on the heart and a hand on the belly, go ahead. Or anything else. If you feel like you need a stretch in those shoulders or in the chest, you could grab opposite elbows over your head. So go ahead and focus on your breath. Maybe pull the shoulder blades a little closer together so that the heart expands. Just take this time. I know it's so weird when you're at home, but you really want to separate yourself from all of the stuff that goes on in your house. It's easier when you walk into the yoga studio, even though, you know, I own the yoga studio and I feel like all this responsibility to do all this stuff there. There's something about walking in there, shutting the door, and feeling that space and being able to just let go. So it takes a little extra brain power, but you gotta find just that space of your yoga mat, even though you're in the middle of your house, maybe kids or pets or whatever. You can imagine just a bubble around you. Bring all of your focus to your breath. Chest and belly rise and fall. Relax the jaw. Make sure the teeth aren't clenched. Think about the neck. Maybe it's still kind of tensed even though the back of your head's on the mat. Just feel all of that just melt. Start making those inhales and exhales longer, stronger, deeper. Sometimes Supta Baddha Konasana is hard because we store a lot of tension in our hip flexors and you're challenging that right now. So really make sure your knees are really falling open. You're not holding on to any tension there. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths together. Big inhale in through the nose, out of the mouth. 2 more like that, in and out. And last one, in and out. And then start to make some movements. Maybe using your hands to bring those knees back together. Rocking from side to side on that lower back. And then hug that right knee in, extend the left leg long, keep the left leg engaged. So you guys all know how we do that. Just flex the foot, make sure the quad is strong. Belly's in, so the lower back's still attached to the mat. And then we're just gonna come into Supta Padangusthasana, so straightening that right leg right up to the sky. And just hold on wherever you can hold on. So maybe you can get the big toe. Maybe it's just the calf or the thigh. Either way is fine. Just getting that first kind of hamstring stretch of the day. Keep on holding on to that leg. And then place the left hand on the left hip. And let that right leg fall out to the right side. So Supta Padangusthasana, B position. Again, we're holding on to that left hip so that it doesn't lift up off the mat. Keep the belly pulled in, keep the tailbone tucked. Bring that leg back up to center, bend the knee, extend that right arm out, and let's take a little spinal twist here. Chin goes over towards the right shoulder, belly is in. Rolling over to that left hip. Still breathing. Maybe you have your Ujjayi Pranayama. Keeping that belly pulled in, relaxing the lower back. And then roll back onto your back, extend that right leg long, bring that left knee in, flex that right foot, right leg is strong, and extend that left leg straight, holding on wherever you can hold on. Being gentle with your hamstrings when it's this early, keeping that belly in. Kicking both heels away from you. Right hand to right hip, holding on to this leg wherever you can, and letting that left leg drop out to the side. Getting that stretch in the inner groin area. Using some belly strength to help keep that lower back on the mat. Bring that leg up, bend the knee, single leg spinal twist here. So when you take these twists, you gotta make sure these hip flexors are relaxed. Make sure your teeth aren't clenched. A lot of times we kind of hold on to tension in those twists. You kind of don't want to go too far. It's normal to want to protect your spine. Good, come on back to center, hug both knees in. All right, so we're just gonna plant the feet flat. We're gonna come into a bridge pose, but we're gonna do a couple of variations. So feet are flat, hips width. You guys know how to set up for bridge. Arms down by the sides. Pull that belly in, really jam that lower back into the mat. So we're gonna inhale and lift those hips up. So when they get up there, keep that belly in. Try and keep the shoulders and neck relaxed. And then just cover this right foot up off the mat. But when you hover it up, do not let this right hip drop. Keep those hips even. You can even place your hands right next to your hips, maybe hold them there a little bit. So your hips might lower, you might not be up as high, that's fine. We're not kicking the legs straight up, we're just hovering that foot, just 2 more breaths, really waking up this left glute. One more breath. Lower the foot, lower the hips, feet wide, knees in. Good. And then place those feet back down. We're just going to do it on the other side. So belly in, arms down by the sides, push those feet into the mat, lift the hips, hold it here, and then just little bit, inch, lift that left foot off the mat. Make sure that left hip doesn't drop. Belly is in for 3. Make sure you feel it in this right glute. 2. And 1, lower the foot, lower the hips, feet wide, knees in, rock it from side to side. And breathe. So plant those feet flat again, knees bent, cross that right ankle over the left, take that reclined figure 4 or reclined pigeon, whatever you like to call it. I think you guys all know how to do it. So both feet are flexed, grabbing onto that left hamstring, using that right elbow to push that right knee away. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders here. Feeling that stretch in that right hip. Strengthen the belly 2. One more breath. Good. Keep that right ankle over that left thigh, but drop that left foot back down. Interlace the fingers behind the head, lift the head and shoulder blades up, and we're going to take 5 slow crunches. So 5. Keep flexing that right foot. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Relax the head down, uncross, recross, left ankle over the right thigh. And take your reclined pigeon here. Make sure both feet are flexed, belly is in. Jaws relaxed, neck and shoulders are relaxed for 3. 2. And 1, drop that right foot down, interlace the fingers behind the head, and let's crunch it up for 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Come on back down, uncross, hug those knees in. All right. So now we're going to do some kind of modified leg lifts. So bring those legs straight up, interlace the fingers behind the head, really scoop out the belly. So really tuck the belly button into the spine, tailbone lifts up off the mat, and we're going to lower the legs together, keep them squeezed about 45, maybe it's higher than 45, it's okay. You just don't want that lower back to come off the mat. And we're going to lift them up. So we're just lowering from 90 to about 45. And up. Lower, keeping the head and shoulders off the mat though. 3. 2. And 1. Lift those legs back up, release the head, hug the knees in. Good. We're going to come right into a low boat, so just rock yourself up into that banana shape, hollow body. Legs are strong here, inner thighs squeezed, kind of on that sacrum, sort of resting there, scooping everything out, reaching those fingertips forward. 2. And 1. Let's bring ourselves up, plant those feet down, and hug the knees here. Good. So we're going to kind of do a boat pose, but I'm renaming it butt balance pose because I really
Just want to make sure you're on your sitting bones. I don't want you to let the ego creep in and go into any kind of full boat. We're modifying it, but we're modifying it to get the pelvic floor, the lower belly muscles fired up. So hold on to those hamstrings. Keep those knees together. I have a problem because I have really tight hip flexors. So I literally smash my knees together. I hold my knees together with my hands. So sitting up nice and tall, relaxing the shoulder blades. We're just coming to the tippy toes. We're not even lifting our feet off the mat. You might find that as soon as you come to your tippy toes, your legs start to separate. Don't let them. So just lifting ourselves up, really squeezing those knees in, and keeping the tippy toes on the mat. Make sure you're on your sitting bones, not back on that tailbone. It's a big difference. So if you need to sort of scoot yourself up a little bit, that's fine. For 3, keeping those knees together. 2. And 1, feet flat, hug the knees in, drop the head. And then we're gonna rock ourselves right to a tabletop position. So a lot of glute work today. I know I say this a lot when I work on glutes in my class, but there's really like this glute amnesia that a lot of us get because we spend a lot of our days sitting, and then they never fire when they're supposed to because we've taught them not to. So we're gonna try and get our glutes to fire. So from that tabletop position, let's just take, let's just take 2 cows and cats. So inhale, drop the belly, gaze goes up, opening up through the throat, relaxing the shoulder blades, and exhale, tuck that tailbone, chin to chest. Feel the shoulder blades protract. And let's just do 1 more. Cow and cat. Back to a neutral spine. So from this tabletop, really ground down into those hands. Make sure the insides of the elbow are facing the wall in front of you. We're gonna bring that right leg back, but keep the ball of the foot on the mat. So let's just get your rock up and down if you want. Get a little calf stretch to start. So just make sure those hips are squared right here. So belly is in super tight, toes are still on the mat. And without moving those hips, just engage that right glute and lift that right leg straight up. So don't let that right hip lift, just the leg. Keep that belly in for 3, 2, foot is flexed. And 1, bend the knees, sole of the foot faces the ceiling. You can have like a 90-degree angle on that right leg. And we're gonna pulse up for 10, 9, little movements, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up there. Straighten the leg again. And then swing it over to the left. Maybe gaze over that left shoulder. And a nice stretch here. Lift it up. So hold it up there still. We're killing our glutes today. I'm going to face this way. So we're just bringing this right leg out to the right. So the ankle kind of turns as you bring it out. So toes are facing the mat when it's behind you. Toes are facing the front wall at the side. We're just going to take 3 more. 2. 1 more. Bring it back. Lower that right knee down. Sink the hips back. Take your child's pose. Maybe roll those wrists out a little. Come back to your tabletop. Same thing on the left side. So extend that left leg back, keep the ball of the foot on the mat. Maybe rock a little bit to get that calf stretched out. A little bit of blood flowing towards that Achilles tendon. Arms are strong, belly's strong. And then again, no movement in the hips. So keep them nice and even and just lift that left leg up. Belly is in, gaze is down at the mat. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Good, bend the knee, sole of the foot faces the ceiling and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold it. Straighten the leg. And we're gonna take sort of that sideways movement. So we're gonna bring that left leg to the left. I can't go as far on this side. And back for 4. Try not to move the hips too much. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg back, knee down, child's pose. Sink the hips back, lower the forehead down. Maybe rock from side to side to massage yourself out right in the middle of your head. And start to make those arms nice and strong. Dig those fingertips into the mat. Start to lift the hips, tuck the toes, and come all the way into your first downward facing dog. Taking whatever you need here. Pedaling, stillness, whatever works. And then if you're moving, come to stillness. Make sure the hands are shoulder width apart, biceps wrap forward, head hangs heavy, shoulder blades relaxed, belly is in. 2 more breaths in down dog. 1 more breath. And then the next inhale, lift those heels high, pull the belly in tight, and with straight legs, go ahead and tippy toe walk up to the top of the mat. Keep pulling that belly in super tight. Feet stay at hips width. We're gonna grab those elbows, then take our ragdoll. So bend the knees if you need to. Rock the weight out of the heels. Head is heavy, belly's hollowed out. Two more breaths. One more. Go ahead and release those elbows. Deep bend in the knees, chin is tucked. Hang out there for a sec. Good, and then we're gonna inhale, lift up halfway, so fingertips to the mat, hands to shins, tailbone is tucked, shoulder blades are relaxed. Exhale to fold, chin to chest. Inhale, long spine, firm belly. Heels are light, exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, tuck the chin, root down into those feet, roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time, roll those shoulders back, come into your mountain pose. So feet together are separated. We're gonna move into our sun salutations. On your next inhale, arms go up, gaze follow, palms touch. And exhale, pull that belly in, folding all the way down, chin to the chest. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant those hands, move through your vinyasa, stepping back to plank.
reaching that chest forward, lowering to chaturanga. Inhale for up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. On your next inhale, lift those heels up, look forward. Make your way up to the top of the mat. If you're ready to float, feel free. Inhale, long spine, firm belly. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, we're gonna fold right back down, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen it out. And exhale, Vinyasa. Taking your time. Breathing in your down dog when you get there. One more breath. Inhale, high on those toes, gaze goes forward, step or float your way up to the top. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring yourself all the way up, arms up, gaze up. And exhale, hands to heart. Arms down by the sides. Inhale for chair pose. Toes are light, bellies in, tailbones tucked. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, let's plant those hands and move through our vinyasas. Let's take a second to meet up in down dog. Good. On your next inhale, float that right leg straight up. Exhale, knee in, foot down, left heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Hold this warrior one. I think it's the only one we have today. So feel that length really along both sides of the body. Sometimes if we have some weaknesses in our glute, we tend to overuse the lower back and maybe hike it up a little bit. So make sure you have a lot of length here. So you're really jamming this right foot down, the belly's in, the tailbone's tucked. Late edge of that left foot is jamming down into the mat, shoulders down. Take 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. On that exhale, lower those hands down, plant them on the mat. Step that right foot back, move through your vinyasa. We'll meet up in down dog again. If you get there early, just take a couple breaths. On that next inhale, float that left leg up. Exhale, bring that foot to the top of the mat, plant it down, right heel down. Inhale, warrior one. So this is where my left side is where I have my weak glute. I really make sure I am laser focused on the center of that left heel. So I'm jamming it down into the mat and then that left glute starts to activate. If not, I do this. I pull this hip up and I avoid the glute altogether. So if you make sure you're nice and long here and the belly's in and you're really pushing that foot down into the mat, you get that glute activation there. And breathe. Relax that jaw. Big inhale. And on that exhale, lower those hands down. Step that left foot back to plank pose. And take your vinyasa. And let's take a few breaths in that down dog. Take one more breath. Good. Let's take an inhale, lift those heels, look forward and make your way up to the top of the mat. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to chair pose. We're gonna hold this. So you could definitely bring those hands to the hips, pull the belly in, really rock the weight into the heels. We're gonna plant that right foot down into the mat and straighten that left leg out. So we're gonna take little tiny, tiny, tiny sweats. So just little pulses for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot down, right leg up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Pull that belly in tight. 3, 2, and 1. Plant that foot down. Take an inhale and chair. And let's exhale, fold. Separate those feet, hips with distance. Peace sign fingers, loop up the big toes. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold for Padangusthasana. Head hangs. Shoulders move towards the hips, bringing up the neck. Belly is in, rocking the weight forward. Breathing in and out through the nose. If you want to move to Padahastasana, you can lift up halfway. Place the hands underneath the feet, toes to the wrist crease, and then refold here. Same rules apply. One more breath. And release those hands. We're going to toe heel the feet a little wider and sink those hips down for Malasana. Hands to heart. So if you have some knee issues, you might want to just stay in Malasana. Otherwise, we're going to do 5 lifts. So belly is in, elbows are strong, pressing against the inner thighs. And we're going to jam those heels into the mat and lift ourselves up to standing. Squeeze those glutes and then lower back down. Malasana. Take a breath. And then press those heels down, come up to standing, squeeze the glutes, and lower back down, Malasana. Just 3 more. Heels down, hips lift, glutes squeeze, back to Malasana. Nice and slow and fluid. 2 more. Squeeze the glutes and lower. Last one, heels down, squeeze those glutes and lower down, Malasana. Take an inhale. Exhale, plant those hands, straighten the legs, toe heel the feet closer together. Inhale, long spine. And exhale, plant the hands, take a vinyasa or go right to down dog. Take a few breaths in down dog, maybe a little reset breath. Inhaling in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. If you guys have blocks, bring them near you. If not, it's really not that big of a deal. So take a couple breaths in your down dog. One more. Inhale, go ahead and float that right leg straight up. Exhale, bring that knee in, plant that foot down. And we're going to stay on the ball of the left foot, come into that crescent lunge. Squaring off those hips, pull the belly in, relax the shoulder blades. Good. One more breath. Maybe bend that back knee a little bit. Good, and we're gonna bring the hands to the hips here. Take one more breath. You might need to hop this back foot in a little bit so that you have, because we're gonna move, we're gonna lift that knee and step back, kind of take a little lunge. So really plant down into that right foot, lift that left knee up, and then step it back. Maybe not as wide as you normally would. Lower the knee a little bit. Lift that knee up. Step it back. Bend the knee a little. Last one, knee up. Foot back. Take a little dip here. Come back into that crescent, arms are up. Good. And then we're gonna come right into that standing big toe hold. So let's bring that left knee up again. You can hold on to that knee and flex the foot and stay here with the right hand on the right hip. Or if you can straighten the leg, go ahead and grab the big toe. Finding your balance. So maybe you stay here. Maybe you have to rebend that knee, but we're going to come into Utthita Padangusthasana B. Left knee out or left foot out to the left. Just like we did on our backs earlier. Just 2 more breaths. One more. Bring that leg back to center, release it, let it hover, and then step it back to crescent. Really get that left glute activated too. So sometimes that means you have to bend this knee and tilt the hips forward. Take a breath. On the exhale, we're going to plant those hands down. Step the right foot back to plank. Hold this plank. And then knees down or straight through chaturanga. We're going to come all the way to our bellies. So this is where you might want to block, if you have one, and stick the block in between your hips. And squeeze it. If you don't have the block, it's definitely still doable. We're going to come into a locust. So again, if you have a block, go ahead and squeeze it. We're on our bellies, chin down, arms are down by the sides, palms are down. So if you don't have a block, just make sure you feel that squeezing action here. So we're going to lift the chest, squeeze the block, and lift the legs off the mat. Lift the arms, coming into our locust pose. For 5. Back of the neck is long. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Plant the hands. Tuck the toes. Get the belly strong, the quads strong. Push yourself up to plank or kneeling plank. You have the block, you can keep squeezing it. Pubic bone works itself towards the sternum. Upper back is rounded. Biceps wrap forward. Belly is strong. 2. Big inhale. And exhale, go ahead and move through your vinyasa. Or go right to down dog. Let's do all that fun stuff on the other side. So let's inhale, float that left leg up. Exhale, plant the left foot at the top of the mat, staying on the ball of the right foot. Kind of root down into this left heel and come into that crescent lunge. So definitely don't ever hesitate putting a bend in that back knee. It really does help tilt the whole pelvis forward, which really gets both glutes fired up a little bit more and puts you in proper alignment. Relaxing those shoulders. Again, making sure you're not hiking that hip up to compensate for weak glutes. Take a breath. On the exhale, hands to hips. Good, and we're gonna take 3 of those movements where we bring the knee up and then take a little lunge. So really pushing down into this left heel, right knee comes up. Send it back to crescent, maybe not as far back, but a little bend in that knee, take that lunge. And then right knee up. Right foot back, take a dip. Nice and slow, right knee up. Send it back, take a dip, back to crescent. Good, and then we're gonna bring that right knee up again. Grab it with that right hand, knee or big toe. Drop that right hip. Get your belly strong. Try and use this left glute to balance you out instead of that left ankle. So if you feel your ankle wobbling, try and send all that energy to that glute. Be positioned, so right leg out to the right. Can you guys see that I'm resting on the wall here? 2. And 1, bring it back to center, release it, let it slowly, slowly, slowly lower back to crescent. Arms are up. Big inhale. And exhale, bring those hands down, step that left foot back to plank, kneeling plank is fine here too. Take an inhale and exhale, lower all the way to the belly, chin or forehead down. Block if you have it in between the thighs. Arms down by the sides. Tops of the feet push into the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Lift the legs, squeeze the block, lift the arms for 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. If you have the block in, take it out. So I don't have a lot of room here, but we're gonna extend both arms in front of us, and we're gonna take some single leg kind of locust things. So left hand is down, right arm is up, back of the neck is long, left leg lifts. For 3, 2, and 1, switch it out. Right hand down, left arm, right leg up. For 3, 2, and 1. One more time, let's switch it. And switch. One more breath. Lower everything down, plant the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, legs strong, belly strong, push yourself up to plank. Hold it. One more inhale, and then exhale, take your vinyasa. After that down dog, if you need a sip break or a sweat wipe break, or just a child's pose, feel free to take it. You guys are all doing so great, keeping up with your practice. It's not easy. I created this yoga room, I don't know, 8 or 10 years ago, thinking I would practice at home when my kids were real little, and I never did. It takes, for me anyway, a lot of motivation to exercise at home. So you guys have all been logging on at some point every week, and I think it's really great. So definitely keep up with it. We're over the hump, I believe. We have less time in quarantine than we've already had, so just stick with it. When you're ready, make your way back to down dog. Take a reset breath, big inhale in through the nose. And exhale out of the mouth.
So you can feel free to use blocks or the wall here. So if you don't have blocks, you might want to use the wall. We're going to come into Warrior 3, but I kind of want everyone's hands on the wall or on blocks. If they're on the wall, you're really just going to have your palms on the wall. If they're on blocks, I think you guys have all done that before. So from down dog, wherever you are, we're going to inhale that right leg up. Exhale, bring it to the top of the mat, and then come right into Warrior 3. So if you have to resituate yourself so you're against the wall, that's fine. But what I want is you to get the feeling in your body that you should have when you're not holding onto a wall, which is the belly is strong and that left glute is doing really the bulk of the work. So when my hands are on blocks, when they're not on blocks, I'm kind of leaning into this right leg a little bit more, really using this right quad. Maybe this left hip is lifted a little bit. But when I have this stability and I can even out my hips, really make this left glute strong and lift it up high because I don't have to worry about the balance so much. It really gets your butt activated. So we're going to just breathe here for 3, 2, 1, stay there. We're taking some toe taps, and again, that's why we're also holding on to the wall or blocks, because it's a little tough to stay in Warrior 3 for this long. We're going to tap the toes down and lift them up. Just 4 more, tap them down to the mat. Lift that leg back up. 3 more, nice and slow. Use the glute for the whole motion. 2, even lowering, don't let it just drop. Control it. 1 more breath. Good, hold it up there. Bend into that right knee. Left toes to the back of the mat, back to crescent lunge. Hands to heart. Lean forward. Twist to the right. So if this twist is too much, you guys know the modifications. Keep that belly in. 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath. Good, we're going to bring all the weight into that right foot and come into a chair twist. Make sure those knees are even. Take a moment or so to really ground both feet down, even out those knees. And then we're stepping back to that crescent twist. Back to chair twist. Back to crescent twist. Last one, back to chair. Right glute should be screaming. Back to crescent. Inhale those arms up. Exhale, Warrior 2. So do your thing in Warrior 2. Move through that checklist. Heel to arch alignment. Deep bend in that right knee. Make sure the knee doesn't pass the ankle. Make sure you can see that big toe. Make sure the spine is straight in the middle, belly's in, tailbones tucked. So arms are strong, but shoulders drop down and shoulder blades squeeze together. And breathe here, Warrior 2. So option to fire it up, you don't have to. You can lift that right heel up. Feel it in the glute a little bit more when you do that. Don't release the muscles in the arms. 3, 2, and 1. Drop the heel, side angle or extended side angle. Tuck that tailbone. Push that right heel down. Push the blade edge of that left foot down. Belly's in. Heart rotates to the ceiling. Left shoulders pull down the back, away from that ear. Just breathe. 2 more breaths. 1 more. On your next inhale, reverse that warrior. And on your exhale, windmill down. Plant this left hand down. Roll to the blade edge of the left foot. And come into our side plank. However, I want you to kickstand this. So bring that right foot behind that left leg
push into the blade edge of that left foot and lift those hips up. Again, we're modifying here so you can feel what you're supposed to be doing when you're not modifying. And, you know, there's, you know, it's, people talk about ego like it's a bad thing. Ego is what gets us successful in life. And it just kicks in, it's normal. So just use this left glute to lift those hips up. Blade edge of that left foot's jammed down. You should feel it in your left glute. You should always feel it in your left glute. This modification just helps. One more breath. Good. On the exhale, back to plank pose and vinyasa or right to down dog. Take a breath. Good. We're going to inhale, float that left leg up. Exhale, bring it to the top of the mat and come into our warrior three. So if you have to adjust where you are, so you have the wall in front of you, that's fine. You want to try it without the wall, you can, but we are holding it kind of long here. So belly is in, hips are even. So you want to make sure this left hip is pulled back and that right hip isn't dropping and isn't lifting up too high. Flex that right foot. You can peek behind you. Those toes should be facing the mat exactly. Spine is long. 2. Belly is in. One more breath. Good. And we're going to take those taps. So controlling the movement, bring that leg down until the toes touch and slowly lift it back up. 4 more. 3. 2. 1 more. Hold that right leg up, bend into that left knee. Bring the right toes back, come into crescent. Hands to heart. Lean forward and twist left. Get yourself settled here, pulling that left hip back, squeezing the inner thighs together. Rounding down into that left foot. We're going to come into a chair twist. Settle in, squeeze the knees, make sure they're even. Hips are low, belly's in. Ground down into that left foot again. Send the toes back. Back to chair twist. Use control. Settle in. And then back to crescent twist. Last one. Jam that heel down. Make sure that ankle isn't rolling too much. Come into that chair twist. And then send it back. Lift those arms up on the inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. You guys know the whole checklist. Go ahead and settle into warrior 2. Belly is in. Spine is straight. Maybe shift those hips a little farther forward. 2 more breaths. If you want to come onto the tiptoes here, you can. Just fires up that glute a little bit more, but if you're not super hydrated, you might get a little cramp in your calf muscle. 1 more breath. Drop that heel, side angle or extended side angle. Pull that belly in. Rotate the heart towards the ceiling. Feel nice and long from the right blade edge of the foot, blade edge of the right foot to the right fingertips. Pushing that left heel down. 2. 1 more breath. Good, let's inhale, reverse warrior, stay bent in that left knee. And exhale, windmill down, right hand down, blade edge of that right foot, and then step this left foot behind the right leg. You're on the ball of that left foot, blade edge of the right, and then use this right glute to lift those hips up high. So you really have to push that blade edge down to get that lift and get the glute working. For 3, 2, big inhale, and exhale, left hand down, plank pose, vinyasa or down dog. From your down dog, you could drop to your child's pose and take a few breaths there. A couple more breaths here. Good, let's activate those arms. Tuck the toes, come to down dog. Inhale, lift that right leg up. And on the exhale, let's come into our pigeon pose. So knee down, trying to get that shin as parallel as you can without getting the hips out of alignment. Left leg is straight out behind you. Make sure the foot isn't sickled. Lift the chest on the inhale and exhale. Lower yourself down however far you can go. Make sure that right foot's flexed. Make sure the face is relaxed, the neck is relaxed. You can close your eyes, just breathe into that pigeon pose. Two more breaths here. One more. You can start to lift yourself up. We're just going to swing this left leg around and come into our double pigeon. So most of you know I could barely do this. So I'm with you if you struggle here. I am not with you if you don't struggle. I don't understand at all. So I know a lot of teachers say to put a block under the top knee. So we're swinging the left knee, the left leg over the right. That doesn't help me at all. I have way too much space in here, but it does help to sort of put something underneath my right knee. So if double pigeon is really impossible for you, you can just cross your legs with the left leg on top of or in front of the right. If you're in double pigeon or fire log pose, just flex your feet and do whatever you can. If you can fold over, go ahead. If you can fold a ½ inch like I can, also fine. Just make sure those feet stay flexed. It's a pretty precarious position for the knees, especially if your hips aren't really warmed up. Just 2 more breaths here. Just trying to get a stretch in some of those glute muscles. Our glutes are the muscles that work our hips, or the bigger muscles that work our hips. So when we open up through the hips, we're really stretching the glutes as well. 1 more breath. All right, come on up if you were down. So let's straighten both legs right out in front of us. Flex the feet, make sure you're on those sitting bones. Inhale, lift up tall, and exhale, fold belly to thighs, chest to knee. Grabbing onto the feet or the big toes if you can, keeping those feet flexed or hands on the mat. Just nice long spine here. So gaze out past those big toes. Try not to drop the chin to the chest. Belly stays pulled in tight. Shoulder blades relax. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Good. Come on back up. And we're just going to switch it out. If you like to come to a down dog first, you can. Otherwise, left knee to the top of the mat, right leg behind us, pigeon on the left side. Get yourself situated. Make sure that left foot is flexed. Hips are nice and squared. Make the spine long, and then fold. Just keep breathing here. Just keep relaxing the jaw and the neck. I didn't mention this before, but I think you all know you could always take a supine pigeon on your back, like the figure 4 that we did in the beginning of class. Two more breaths. One more. Start to push yourself back up, rock onto that left hip, swing that right leg on top of the left or in front of if you're not going into that full fire lug. Again, this right knee is really high on me, really too high to put a block underneath there, but it does help for me to bolster underneath my left knee. And then I can situate myself, getting myself on my sitting bones. Both feet are flexed. Shins are as parallel as you can get them. Maybe you sit up tall first. Maybe you can fold. Belly is always in when you're folding. Just for 3 breaths here. 2. 1 more. Come on up. Both legs out in front of you, Pashimo 1 more time. Feet are flexed, legs are together, and fold. Just 3 breaths here. 2. 1. Come on up. So we're going to take an upward facing plank or intense Eastern stretch as it's called. If it's way too much, you can always bend those knees and take a reverse tabletop. If you're taking that reverse plank, you're sort of pointing those feet, hands behind you, fingertips face you, chest open, shoulder blades together. You're just going to lift those hips up and try and flatten those feet down. If your neck's okay, you can drop the head back. Pushing those hips up, reverse table, reverse plank, just 2 more breaths. 1 more. On the exhale, lower those hips down. Good. And then we're just going to bend those knees, plant the feet, pull the belly in, reach the arms out, and just slowly lower all the way down to your back. Maybe hug the knees in, pretty gentle here. Rock from side to side on the lower back, nothing too squeezed tight. Good. And then tee out the arms. Drop both knees to the right, chin towards the left shoulder. And then switch it out. Knees to the left, chin towards the right shoulder.
And come on back to center and take your happy baby. Give those glutes and those hips one last stretch. Hamstrings, inner thighs, we worked all of that today. And then bring those knees together. Give them a hug. And close your eyes here. So if you want to play your own Shavasana music, go ahead. I can't make it sound right on these devices. So let's take a big deep inhale. And exhale out of the mouth. Go ahead and release those legs. Heels to the corners, toes fall open. Arms down by the sides, palms face up. Shoulder blades squeeze together. Maybe rock the head from side to side. And let's take one last big inhale here, in through the nose. And exhale out of the mouth. Let that exhale just wash all of that last remaining amount of tension away. And settle into your Shavasana.
The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack in will. That was said by Vince Lombardi Jr. So let's all take some nice deep breaths, yogis. So yes, we work on strength here, but it's only sheer will that's going to get you to your yoga mat. It's only sheer will that's going to get you through this lockdown that we're having. All of you yogis have a step up on everyone else because we know how to do that. We know how to push ourselves through things that are not easy. We do it all the time on our yoga mats. It's just transferring it into something a little more ethereal, a little less physical, but we learn how to transfer that really easily in yoga. We know it's all the same. So making your gentle movements, breathing deeper, bringing your awareness back. Reaching those arms long, taking that stretch. Especially in this stretch, feel that length on the sides because you want to make sure you capitalize on all that glute activation we did today. Make sure they're working throughout the day. You want to feel long on those sides, grounded in those feet from today until forever. So one more big deep inhale. On the exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Rock from side to side a little bit. And when you're ready, you guys know you could take any way you want to make your way to seated, rocking straight up, or taking the fetal position for just a little bit, totally up to you. And from seated, eyes closed, hands to your heart space. Tuck that chin in, just in that sign of gratitude. Things aren't easy, but if we have our basic needs met, things are good. If we woke up this morning feeling healthy, things are good. If our families, our friends, our loved ones, our animals are healthy, then we're good. And even if they're not, we know how to deal with that stuff. So together as a community, let's take a deep, big inhale in through the nose. And we'll exhale out of the mouth, folding forward, bowing down to seal today's practice in. Namaste, yogis. Thank you all so very, very much. Again,
Namaste,
Thanks.
Suzanne.
namaste. Have a
Have a good
wonderful
day.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you. Have
Have a great day.
Enjoy.
Have a good day.
Suzanne.